Alright, we're now working on the fascia cosmetics. Done the first going over on the faceplate. It's actually getting as good as it almost can be. Considering that you could not really see even the writing from the start when we began. Right, so what's next? We have the display here is quite damaged. I'll try and get a... There we go. You can see all the marks in it. Alright. So what I have here is 2500 grit wet and dry. We're going to use it dry. And I'm going to sand that flat and then polish with the Autosol metal polish. Alright, I'll be back when it's done. One of the good things about using a wet and dry in fine, you can see what you need to get rid of, and I'm down to just 3 gouges in the display. Once I've got rid of that, it's ready for polishing. Alright, there we go. That's done. So if I just do a quick wipe, you see there it's nice and flat. Actually, there's just a couple of little pinhead ones there. Where is there? No, it's just the powder. Alright, that took about 2 minutes, and now what I'll do is I'll just polish that, and then I'll show you what I've done with the covers. Thank you. Okay, here we are. You know, one of the most enjoyable thing about this is when you're looking for time, you're looking for something to accomplish, to make things better, bring things back to life. It's the process. It's having something to do, and you see the outcome. And then the big buzz for me is that someone out there goes, "Oh, I have some of that here. I can do that," or "I've got this." That applies to model cars. I could use that process on restoring my die-cast cars, or it could be, you know, a young lady that's got hobbies that they could use similar processes in. This is for all. This is having something to do, enjoying it, and sharing it with other people. And that's one of the reasons I like producing these videos. It's not a money-making exercise. If it was, I definitely wouldn't be doing it. But it is putting into ink for time, as long as YouTube's available, that there are resources that anyone can go and watch a video and learn how to do something. And let's face it, that's what happens these days. You want to learn something, you seek it. Alright, I'll go on to the covers and I'll show you the covers. Alright, you remember the last video? I showed you the covers, and the sides of them were totally covered in the remnants of the adhesive, that white adhesive, which came from a packing tape, most likely the fiberglass type. The only way that I was able to get that off, it took around about 20 minutes to half an hour. It was not, the mineral turpentine didn't work. I actually used a product from SMS, which I use on my airbrushing, which is a paint remover. And this paint remover isn't like an automotive aircraft, very alkaline or acidic, depending on what product you've got. This is a very gentle product because that is designed for very soft plastics. So what it's done, it's actually removed all of the white. So these covers are now ready to paint with the vinyl paint. And I'm going to set that up now to do in my paint booth. Thank you. Okay. Come up very, very nice. Being that it's a vinyl spray, it comes up and looks like the original OEM wrap. It doesn't look like paint. Alright, I'm going to let that dry, and we're in reassembly mode. The paint used is the Duplicolor vinyl and fabric. Now this is designed for OEM look dye. You can get it in so many different colours. The cost was somewhere around about $22 for the can, and I'd probably get 2, maybe 3 sets of covers out of it. The cutting compound that I use is a Meguiar's Diamond Cut. It's not an aggressive cutting compound, it's almost a finishing cut. If you look under a magnifying glass, the spheres are not triangular in shape. The cutting, they're a rough circle. And then just to remind, what we used for cutting the Perspex was 2500 wet and dry, and used just as a dry compound. And you can just see that. You have to get that, and there we go. All right, all the scratches have gone. All right, knobs have been detailed, dried and fitted. Next step is to fit the covers back, install the speaker into the chassis. And we're not far off putting it aside. I'll use all new cabinet screws in black, a M3 pan head. And that's coming up shortly. Just one moment. Alright guys, I'm going to call this a finish. I'm not going to put the lower cover on at the moment because it's still not 100% dry, and I've got to put all the screws in for the speaker housing. But that gives you an idea of what you can do in an afternoon that's quite rewarding. Now if we turn around and work out what the costs are, the radio was, I think it was about $80 or something. Bought it as is. The VCO, the channel selector, the other consumables add up to somewhere around about $180. So already we're looking at $250 roughly, plus all of the elbow grease. Haven't done the tune yet. So by the time the tune's done, that's sort of what you're looking at. This one's just straightforward because I knew that there wasn't much wrong with it, and what is, it will need a full cap change. It's not fantastic on the transmit audio, it's average on TX power, but all of that will be brought up in the alignment. But that's what you can do if you're looking for a project for a Saturday or Sunday, you're not feeling well, you can take something that looks like it needs to be thrown in the bin to something that would sit quite pride of place on someone's shelf who's into the hobby. Alright, I'm just going to plug it in to show you what it looks like, and then I'll conclude this series.